Bulls Nation, today, another frustrating day for the Chicago Bulls. It's tough to swallow. It's never going to be easy, but at the end of the day, this one could mean a lot more than just the loss with some of the things that have come out about this game, with some of the things that could potentially be looking forward towards this game with some of our players. And once again, it is not a pretty sight to see, but hopefully it's just the loss that we have to take and not potential injuries to some of our players. But without further ado, let's talk about the Chicago Bulls versus the Orlando Magic in this video. Let's go. What's up, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show, and welcome back to another video. Today, we've got the Chicago Bulls versus the Orlando Magic game reaction. The Chicago Bulls, the same old story for the Chicago Bulls. We fight our way back, we fight our way back, and we fight our way back. But then we eventually fall and lose the game. And again, it begs to question of why do we keep coming back from games, and why can't we take the initiative and start games strongly? But anyway, before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on. Let me know in the comments below who is your player of the game for today's game, and overall, what are your thoughts on how the Bulls played today? We could go through a lot of things. The first thing I want to talk about before we go anything into the actual game itself is that Lauri Markkanen suffered a right shoulder sprain in this game. He did not return after the second half, I believe, or a little bit into the second half. And it looks like, I hope it's not too long. It could mean Lauri Markkanen misses a few games, which is another blow to the Chicago Bulls. Once again, Lauri Markkanen, Wendell Carter, it seems to me that these players just can't stay healthy. Anyway, hopefully this doesn't mean anything. Hopefully he'll be back next game, which will be tomorrow. I doubt it, but maybe just hopefully he can be back as soon as possible, because I think we need him, and we probably did need him this game. And again, it just shows that we need to find ways to get our players healthy to actually play majority of the season. Again, I'm hoping for a positive outcome out of that. Hopefully it's not too long. At the end of the day, some of these things you just simply can't control. But yeah, hopefully Lauri Markkanen can get better soon. I don't really want to see him out for extended periods of time, and we just see how that goes in the long run. The Bulls' score today was 123-119. The Bulls lost this game after a very, very, very poor first quarter. And again, from that first quarter onwards, the Bulls had to continue to fight their way back into the game. And look, I think it's safe to say the Chicago Bulls can come back in most games, if not all games. When we are down by 20 or 10, or I think at this point the highest was 12, we can come back from those deficits. We can. I think that's fairly simple, fairly easy to say. We can come back from games like that. But how often are we going to just keep letting teams get the better of us in the first quarter, get better of us in the first half until we respond? We should not be in a reactionary team. That is the definition of a reactionary team. To watch what the Orlando Magic do, to allow the Orlando Magic to pummel us in the first quarter especially, and continue it in the second quarter. And then the Bulls, with the reaction, has to come back and fight to win. I don't want to be that type of team, and that type of team will not win games consistently. And it's showing today. We need to be a team that has the tempo from the get-go. We should be the team that's out there making shots, that's out there playing hard. We don't need fourth quarter amazing defense if you don't play it the entire game. The whole point of a winning team is to play fourth quarters, to play all quarters. We didn't do that, and we haven't done that. So that's the big point of this loss. We gave away a lot of second chance opportunities. Obviously, Vucevic was just unstoppable, and I really have questions on Daniel Gafford's ability to play in this league after that game, let alone just being a bench player, and I'll get to that later. But at the end of the day, you can target anybody you want. The fact of the matter is, that first quarter is unacceptable by any stretch of the means. I don't care if you're an all-elite NBA defensive team or you're one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA. That first quarter, under any circumstance, is considered a poor first quarter, and a first quarter that is not acceptable. And yes, an amazing job by the Bulls to fight back. And yes, the Bulls are still very fun to watch, but it's frustrating to know that we have to give away such a high lead for us to play well. We don't play well from the beginning. We didn't do it against the Knicks both times. We didn't do it against the Magic. We haven't done it for quite some time. We need to be the one that holds the tempo. I want to see the Bulls extend the lead to 20 points. I want to see the Bulls extend the lead to 10, 15 points. I don't want to see us coming back from those deficits every single game. That's the next step for the Bulls. Defensively, we were poor once again. We gave away way too many offensive rebounds. We gave away a lot of good shot selection to the Orlando Magic. And that's besides Vucevic. Vucevic is a whole different player on his own. He's an all-star caliber player. We don't have a center that can stop him. It makes sense that Vucevic has the game that he has today. And it was 44 points or something like that. 44 points, 13 rebounds. What an amazing game. And he's an all-star caliber center. When we don't have a center that can stop him, that's what you expect to happen. It's as simple as that. That is what is expected to happen. But everywhere else wasn't great. We gave away threes. We gave away open layups. There was a play where Daniel Gafford literally just let Fournier walk into the paint and he got an M1. These situations need to be preventable. We need to first off find that rim protection. We need to find that rim protection. Wherever it is, we need to go and get it back. We cannot let teams dominate us in the paint because that's when the three-point shooting begins to open. If we're relying on a team from the very beginning to shoot threes on us, there's a better chance of us winning that game. But if you get them hot in the paint and you allow them to extend their range to the three-point range, and then they just simply can have the shot selection for whatever they like. They can choose whatever shot they want, and 9 times out of 10, it's going to go in. And that was the type of game. Orlando shot, I believe, over 50% from the field today. It just goes to show that defense means a lot in this league. We cannot neglect the defensive side. Do we have the best defensive players in the NBA? No. We actually pretty much have one of the worst defenses in the NBA. But if you can't try and you can't find ways to defend the ball consistently, you will not win these games. Hopefully we can pick things up against them tomorrow. We now have the formula, I guess you could say. We have had a game to see how they play. They are still struggling. It is a back-to-back. They don't have as much players as we do. Tomorrow we do have, I think, an advantage. And let's see if that advantage comes to light or once again a very similar result happens for the Chicago Bulls. Let's go into individual performers, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to mention too many players because there were a few players that just simply not had great games. Zach LaVine, 26 points, 8 assists, and 4 rebounds for Zach LaVine. An amazing game for Zach LaVine. But one thing of notice, Zach LaVine got nearly all of his points in the fourth quarter. There was no real scoring from Zach LaVine in any other quarter. I believe he had 2 points within the third quarter. Now, Zach LaVine is an amazing player. And Zach LaVine put up, once again, all-star caliber stats. We talk about balance with Kobe White. There needs to be a balance with Zach LaVine as well. To be a sole playmaker only within 3 quarters of this game is not balance. Yes, you get 26 points overall. You had an amazing 24-point fourth quarter. That's amazing. That kept us in the game, and we could have won that game at the end of the day if things went our way. We should have got a jump ball. We could have won that game from that, or at least tied the game. Again, we needed to see a little bit more balance from Zach LaVine. I'm so happy he got 8 assists. I'm so happy he had his 26 points. I'm so happy that once again, he's proving to be our best player and he's having a great game. But it needs to be throughout the game. We can't have one amazing scoring quarter from Zach LaVine because that's 3 quarters that are neglected by the Chicago Bulls and Zach LaVine, where he's trying to find other players to get open when the reality is he's our best player. There needs to be a balance of scoring and playmaking throughout the entire game. But again, stats are not going to show that. The stats are going to show 26 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds. But he needs to find that balance in scoring and playmaking throughout the entire game and not specifically one quarter. But again, that fourth quarter for Zach LaVine was absolutely immense. Kobe White, 16 points, 3 assists, 1 rebound. Kobe White was a little bit better on the scoring end today, made a huge 3 in the fourth quarter. Once again, I wouldn't say that it was a great game from Kobe White. It was a little bit better than usual. I thought his confidence from the scoring was a little bit better. He made some good threes today. There was one sequence in the game where I believe he made 2 threes in a row. Zach LaVine passed him the ball. Kobe White made the shot. I think we're slowly seeing the roles reversed, maybe. Maybe we are truly looking for Zach LaVine to be our point guard and Kobe White to be our shooting guard. I don't think that's the worst thing in the world to happen. But that could potentially be something that the Bulls are looking at doing. Maybe swapping the roles and allowing Kobe White to be the shooting guard and Zach LaVine to be the point guard. Zach LaVine did play point guard at the beginning of his career with the Timberwolves. So, again, it's a situation where it can happen, it can work, and maybe that's where we're going to go down the line. The young rookie Patrick Williams. This is probably Patrick Williams' best game. 20 points, 1 assist, 7 rebounds. We're going to see a lot of games like this, in my opinion, from Patrick Williams. I don't know how consistently good it's going to be, how consistently he's going to be able to score 20 points, but the dude is clearly talented. You can see that every single shot selection he has is a good shot selection. Every single decision he makes usually is a good decision. Open dunks, good drives, made some good mid-range shooting. I think this guy could seriously be the whole package for this team in the future. Now, again, I don't want to put too much pressure on Patrick Williams, but a game like this is a fantastic game for a rookie. And again, hopefully we can see more games like that out of Patrick Williams in the future, especially if Larry Markkanen's out. We need players that are going to step up. And so far, we're already not dealing with the fact that Wendell Carter's out. So I don't know where this team's going to find more players to step up, but that's what's going to need to happen if Larry is out for a significant amount of time. Hopefully we'll know more about that soon, by the way. Speaking of Larry Markkanen, he did have 13 points and 5 rebounds. Larry Markkanen was actually very, very good in the first half. He didn't play much of the second half. He could have helped this team maybe come back. I'm not really sure, but at the end of the day, a solid game from him, and yeah. I just hope he gets better soon. I really think we're going to miss him if he does go out. We already miss Wendell Carter. We're going to miss Larry Markkanen too if he's out for any serious amount of time. Thaddeus Young had 15 points, 5 assists, and 7 rebounds. I mean, do I even need to repeat myself with Thaddeus Young? I feel like most of you that do watch this channel knows what I'm thinking about Thaddeus Young at this late. It's just been a tremendous few weeks from him. It's a shame that he's probably our second best player, and it's a shame that he's not starting. And maybe if Larry Markkanen isn't going to be playing, he could potentially start, because this dude plays so much of our minutes. He played 32 minutes tonight, and it's just a shame we didn't walk away with the win. He's clearly our second best player. I don't think there's another player that comes close to him on this team at the moment with the way that he's been playing. So again, it's one of those situations where we just wait and see. And the last player I'm going to mention, Denzel Valentine. Denzel Valentine had 14 points, 1 assist, 4 rebounds. Denzel Valentine helped us climb into this game, and we did very, very well. At the end of the day, he is keeping Chandler Hutchison away from this team. Chandler Hutchison did play today because Larry Markkanen was not playing for the second half. Chandler Hutchison got 6 minutes today, only had 1 rebound. And Denzel Valentine's keeping him out of the rotation. And it just shows that sometimes you need the offensive scoring power. And his attempt to try on defense keeps him in games. It's as simple as that. He's not the best defender, Denzel Valentine, but his defensive effort in trying to play defense will keep him in games. And he's getting the minutes. Once again, Otto Porter didn't play. We missed Wendell Carter. Larry Markkanen didn't play the second half. We're slowly getting injuries, and this is not a virus-related issue. This is actual injuries now that could be a concern for the Chicago Bulls. The must-improve player, Daniel Gafford, once again. And I'm getting a little bit frustrated talking about Daniel Gafford, but that first quarter performance from Daniel Gafford is one of the worst defensive displays I've seen from a center this season. And he looked lost. He did not look like he knew where to be on the court. He looks like he didn't know what he was doing. It seems like anytime he was in the right situation, he was still getting beat. Look, this could just be seen as a bad game from Daniel Gafford, but I feel like there's more to that. If you're lost on the court, you should know Vucevic is an all-star caliber center shooting over 40% from the three-point line. You have to get to him. You cannot give him an open shot. The pick and pop, it's a simple game plan, but it works for so many teams. We need to find ways to guard that, whether it's a switch, whether it's a blitz, whatever it is that we decide. Dropping off in a pick and pop is the worst thing to do in basketball. It really is, especially from an all-star caliber center like Vucevic. I don't know if he's going to be an all-star this season, but damn, he's making a case for himself. And that game against the Bulls, 44 points. That's going to get him a lot of votes. He should be an all-star in my opinion. The player of the game is Zach LaVine. I really wanted to give it to Patrick Williams, but Zach LaVine's fourth quarter performance was just too good to pass down. He also had 8 assists. I thought this was a very big game from Zach LaVine, but again, needs to find the balance in where he's scoring and playmaking. It can't be playmaking for 3 quarters, scoring 1 quarter. It needs to be an element of both in every single quarter so we can actually take leads in this game. Zach LaVine scoring for 3 quarters was missed. It was missed. But most importantly, this defense needs to step up. And that's not all Zach LaVine. I think Zach LaVine defensively has had a massive leap this season, but it needs to be a defensive team effort. Billy Donovan needs to get this team in the gym and needs to focus on team defense, needs to focus on that sacrifice. All those hype videos about the Bulls saying we need to sacrifice for each other, go in and work every day. At the moment, that's what we need to see. We need to see them work, we need to see them try, and we need to see them play some team defense. That fourth quarter defense was very good for the Chicago Bulls. But if you can't do that for 3 quarters, it's not going to matter in 1 quarter because you're going to be down. It's as simple as that. That defense needs to be played throughout the entire game. And once again, these are the games. You look at the Knicks, you look at the Lakers, you look at the Celtics, you look at the teams that we versed that are known to be good defensive teams. Even the Magic today, defensively, they weren't bad. They weren't bad. They're known as one of the worst defensive teams, just like us, but they weren't bad today. You need to look at those teams and you need to find out how can we play defense the way that these teams play defense. Defense is a big step for us. When we're able to play defense, we know we can score. We know we can be a fantastic offensive team. But if we can't defend, games like this are going to happen. 20-point, 10-point, 15-point deficits in the first quarter will happen. It's not the first time and it won't be the last. But the Bulls got to come out and defend. The Bulls got to come out and rebound. And when we do that, we'll have better chances to win. And we might even win convincingly one of these days. Can't remember. The game against Dallas was like the last convincing win we've gotten. The Bulls record is 9-13. Not great, is it? Not great, is it? We're slowly falling behind the pack. We need to get a victory sooner than later. We do have games against Orlando next, which is our next game, the Orlando Magic. We have the formula now. We versed them once. We know what to expect. We should have known what to expect coming into this. We all knew that Vucevic was going to be unstoppable, and it turns out Vucevic was unstoppable. But it's up to the Bulls to find other ways, to find and stop other players. Vucevic is going to get his stats. How do you stop the other players? We didn't stop Cole Anthony. We didn't stop Evan Fournier. We didn't stop Terrence Ross or Birch. We didn't stop any of these players. And that cost us big time. Those are the players that we need to focus on stopping because Vucevic is just going to be Vucevic. We're not going to stop that. We need to stop the other players as well. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. It's a little bit of a longer video. I apologize. But I had a few things to get off my chest. Again, I'm frustrated, but I'm not pushing the panic button. I'm not going to do it. I'm not pushing the panic button because I know that we are going to be a team down the line that will be better than what we're seeing today. And that's what I'm optimistic about. And I hope that we can see that sooner than later. But let's just focus on getting better. Let's focus on the next game and getting better from that game to this game. And we just see how we go. Inconsistency is going to happen. We're a young team. But we need to focus on getting better. If you don't get better, then you don't win games. We need to be better than this. Take care and peace.